Yo, what's up? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we're talking about my advice on the number one way for you to get started investing in real estate. Some people was asking some random questions about the Lambo, some random questions about just real estate and stuff. So yeah, so we can get into the whole mentoring session right now. Like whatever y'all want to talk about. If you want to talk about car stuff, you want to talk about crib stuff, you want to talk about making money, being an entrepreneur, any of that stuff, you got me. It's still the 10 o'clock hour. We got some time. Yeah, Biv and George, that's a good one. My brother was talking about the same thing. I am Mr. Moss. He was saying the same thing because I do. When I do a flip, I do a little bit more of that. I put different things in the house than when I do a rental. Usually rentals. Man, they scramble to get a good rental property. So usually you don't have to do a whole lot to a rental property. But if you're going to flip a property, man, you could go all out with staging, what they call staging the house. What's up, Rich? That's my realtor right there, Rich Shiro. So if you got questions for my realtor, he's in the house. And Rich, if you look at this video after it's over, you can watch the whole thing. You'll see my course outline, and I'm sure you'll have some input for me. And there's a section dedicated to you in my course. So let's see. Rashawn said, what minimum credit and funds to start? Really, to be honest, different banks are willing to accept different credit levels. So I don't know if there's a minimum credit level, but what happens is the lower your credit, the higher your interest rate, and the more you have to pay to the bank because they taking more risk by giving you credit. But just to give you an example, if your credit is in the 600s or the 700s, you probably won't have a problem getting a loan to buy a house, unless you got a whole lot of other stuff going on where maybe you don't have the income or something like that. But if you're in the 600s and the 700s, you probably are good. If you're in the 500s, might be a little bit harder. But like I said, I'm gonna try to get a credit expert to help me come up with a course for getting your credit on point. Minimum funds to start, it just depends on how you want to do your deal and what you're comfortable with. Usually the less money you have to put down on a property, the higher your payment, or the more you'll have to pay to a partnering bank or a partnering hard money lender. So like there might be a lender out there, a hard money lender, like a private investor, that will give you all the money for the deal, but they're gonna want so much money back that it's almost like you're working for them. You know what I mean? So, Coder Man, what's up, Coder Man? What's up, Fitness Tech? What's up, Jenkins? What's up, Rich? What's up, Artidick? Yeah. How to have a business card under your LLC. That's pretty simple. I got audited before, and I had a bunch of cars I was switching out, and I have an accountant, man. So like I would suggest you get a really good accounting firm, tax accountant, and follow the rules. You can basically write off a certain amount for your car expenses. You can buy a car and put your car under the name of your LLC to cover your bases. But when I got audited, like they weren't sweating me about having the car named under my business. But I had cars leased, and sometimes I had them under my business, sometimes they didn't, but they didn't seem to care about that. They just wanted to make sure that I was doing the taxes right. All right. Fitness Tech, what causes real estate value to drop and why? Man, there's a lot of factors, but like the last time it dropped, and the way I look at it is the Federal Reserve started telling the banks to stop lending money out. And and when they stopped lending money, people wasn't able to buy as much, so the market started going down because there was less buyer activity. Also, the interest rates were high for a while, and then of course the interest rates started to drop. But man, there could be a lot of reasons. Like let's say you was in Flint, Michigan, when they used to have the car factories there. Like I don't know if it was Ford or Chevy or whatever they had in Michigan, right? And let's say the factory closed, and that was the major source of income for the residents of the city. So if that factory closes and everybody doesn't have a job, then that could affect the real estate market in a small city. But if you're in a city with a um, real healthy job market, then usually you're gonna be good in all of the market. You know, if the market is up, you can buy and flip. The market is down low, you can buy it and hold it. And when it gets up, you can sell it, or you can keep making money with rentals. So, but there's a lot of things. Like I don't want to sit here and tell you like this is exactly what makes the market drop. But what you do need to know is how do you make money when the market is up versus when the market is down, and knowing when something is a good deal. And I'm gonna talk all about that in my course, because when I was buying properties, like most people were scared to buy properties when I was buying properties, which was making me like that's what was making me like come up. Like that was my come up because everybody was scared to buy. So I was, man, if I could go back in time, man, I would have tried to buy my whole zip code. And you can ask my realtor, I was doing my best. I was doing my best, man. I was trying to get the banks to give me money and all that. So Colette asked, will I write books? If somebody writes it for me, I don't see myself sitting down to like write a book, but I could take this stuff that I put into the course and somebody could turn it into a book and it could get published. But I don't aspire to be like an author or something like that. What is hard money? Hard money lending is like basically private money. So you can get a loan and a mortgage from a bank, and that's like a traditional and getting conventional loans and all that stuff. Or you can get money from a person, and that's what they call hard money, like a personal lender. So like let's say I'm a millionaire, right? And I have $3 million in the bank, and I don't have time to take my 3 million and go find deals and invest in real estate, but I know that I can make money with real estate. And you know me, you might come to me and say, hey Will, I see this property over here, I want to buy it, but I don't have the money, my credit's not right, the bank won't give me the money. Will you give me the money? Then I could be your hard money lender, right? So now Rich will tell you the details, because I'm just a guy, I'm just a hustler from the streets that has, made a little come up. But Rich is actually a realtor. He had to take classes and pass tests. I didn't have to pass any tests. I didn't have to take any classes. I just look at my portfolio, my bank account statements to see how I'm doing. That's my grade card. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a hard money lender either. So, but I think essentially that's what it is. Yeah. There's so many hard money companies out there, but I've seen hard money deals, and the terms are what I call not favorable, because they charge you so much money and interest and like fees and stuff that it's almost like you work for them. And if you mess up, then they own the rights to the house. Like, Julio, oi Julio, irmão, como está? Você está bom? Tudo bom? Muito bom, então. Ooh, I almost threw away some important tax information here. Shoot, you don't want to do that. So at the end of the year, when you have a bunch of mortgages on properties, the bank will send you a mortgage statement. What do they call it? They call it a mortgage interest statement, and it basically goes over how much you paid the bank. I don't know if you can see this. Look, it shows how much you paid the bank in interest, and then you get to write that off on your taxes. So it's like a discount towards my taxes. more or less. You feel me? What other questions you got? Can you put some case studies on deals you took some L's on? What made them bad deals? Samuel, the reason why I feel like I'm very qualified to do this course is because I have not taken an L on any deal. Now, I sort of took an L on one deal, but it wasn't an investment property. I bought a house. I bought a house that I moved into, and I changed my mind after I bought and built the house. Actually, I built the house, moved into it. I decided I did not want to live there, and I wanted to move back into my house where I'm at right now. And so I sold that house, and I actually sold it for more money than I bought it for. But but I had some fees, like I had to pay realtor fees. I had to pay. I fixed it up a little bit. Um, I had closing costs and stuff, and so that made it where I can't say that I made money off of that deal, but I sold it for more than what I bought it for, and we could look at a deal like that. I mean, in the class, but to be honest, when I went to go invest in a property, I took no L's. Now, if you took that same property that I bought, if I had held it and sold it now, I'm pretty sure I could have made some money off of it. I'm pretty sure. Rich probably will know because Rich actually helped me get rid of that house. Uh, that neighborhood, Cedar Run, where I bought that house for 200 and I want to say 219,000 or something. I bought it for, and we sold it for 230,000. But maybe that house now is worth 270. I don't know. Rich might know. Um, yeah, my realtor. I have nothing bad to say about my realtor. Trust me on that. Sick with it, yo. What's up, bro? Am I doing Gold Rush, Coder Man? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because a lot of those rallies are super expensive. So I have to be kind of like semi-retired to be going like those dudes go. I have too many things. Usually, I have too many things going on. And 2018 so far looks like it could be the best year for me ever financially. So based on some contracts I'm trying to line up. So I think I'm gonna be too busy to try to like take off like that. But maybe like one day in the future, it looks like fun. And I will do some kind of rally this year. I already signed up for a rally in June, but it's like inside Ohio. Um, uh, is it more profitable to build or buy? For making money, like as an investor, so far I'm looking at it like maybe to buy, but if you know what you're doing, building could be very profitable as well. So the jury for me and my experience is still out on that because I'm still building a house. But it looks like I can make a lot with that, but there's more unknowns when you build because like as you start building, the price of materials change, the price of labor changes. It's more risky. Rich has a few L examples that we can feature, but they want my L's. I wasn't taking no L's. And yeah, like if I was more patient on that house that I bought and moved into, I could have probably rented it or something and then sold it for a little bit of a profit later. So yeah, patience is always like the number one thing that make you take an L when it comes to real estate. Because you could be in a bad deal, and if you're patient and you wait it out, play the rent game for a while, you might not take an L. You just hold on to it. Uh, but yeah, Coder man, that rally, I love to take the Lambo on a rally, and I'm going to. But man, yeah, 25,000 to hang with some dudes, and those dudes like getting drunk and stuff. Like I don't drink a lot. Like I might have a cocktail or something like that, but I'm not. I'm not one of those dudes that likes to drink and get drunk and party animal stuff. So I don't know if I'll fit in with that crowd. Um, Man, yeah, the GT. I'm super excited about that Mustang GT 500. I can't wait to see that. Believe me, we're getting one of those for the channel. Just hopefully it doesn't take too long. But the longer it takes, the more I'll be ready for it. Tyrone Grant, the best way to start investing as a 21-year-old would be knowledge. Start learning everything, everything, right? You don't want to just be like somebody tell you, well, as a 21-year-old, you should take your money and look for a house that is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and costs 50,000, and then you should turn around and flip it for 80, and this, that, and the other. No, there's a lot of ways you can make money with real estate, but first thing you got to do is start learning, because the more you learn, the less risky it is when you make an investment, because you know more. Okay, so when you're 21, you got time on your side. But once you learn the different ways you can make money with real estate, you can figure out what will be best for you. Um, let's see. What are the rules for renting the home and living in the basement? I think that probably varies from city to city or county to county. Um, I know there's some things about living in a basement where you got to have an egress window so that you can have a legal bedroom or legal living space. There might be other stuff, but that kind of depends uh, on your zoning administration in whatever city you're in. Um, Two punch combo, yeah. Um, Buy your own first 21 bucks. Yeah, I mean that's a good one. Rich said if you're a young person and you're thinking about investing, buy your own house first, and when you buy it like an investor. Buy it for a good deal. And then while you're learning to invest in real estate, that house that you buy that you live in, you're paying down the mortgage. So you're building up equity in the house. And potentially by the time you're ready to start investing in real estate, you might have so much equity in your house that you can use that equity as a down payment on a rental property or a flip. Simon Jenkins said, what was my biggest flip money wise? I probably had a flip where I had probably a flip where I made maybe 50,000, or maybe a little more than 50,000, between 50 and 60,000. But I own rental properties that I bought where if I flipped them, if I went and sold them now, they would make me more than 100,000 in less than how long have I held the properties? Less than 4 years. And I have several properties like that. So that's part of the game, like buy and hold. So I bought them while they were cheap. 5 years later, they're all up double what they were worth or more, you know. Johnny D, what's up? Hamza, am I going to buy a GT3? Maybe one day, but now I'm looking at that Ford Shelby GT500. I won't buy a GT3 and a Ford Shelby GT500 at the same time. I won't do that. I'll buy one or the other, and probably the Ford, because the Ford I think will get more YouTube interest, because I want the car to be like a channel car. Like that helps me justify buying the car. If I buy a GT3, some people will watch the channel, but if I buy a GT500, a lot of people will come to the channel to see content about that car. Bros Before Hoes said, do you always dress up the outside of the house on your flips, like adding bright colored flowers and things? I thought at first I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you were just asking if I dressed up in bright colored flowers. Nah. I'll make the outside look nice and new, like what a builder would do. Like if you bought a new home in a new development community, I try to make my real estate look like how they would do it. And it's usually evergreen plants, like boxwood bushes, pine trees, and some maple trees and stuff, like real conservative stuff. And then just make it look clean and uniform. And then the home buyer can add flowers and stuff like that. But I do believe in landscaping the house nice and clean, and having curb appeal. I always paint, like if I have some vinyl shutters, I power wash the vinyl siding on the houses, and I paint the vinyl shutters. I usually paint them black, and I paint the door. I always paint the door on the house, and just make it look fresh versus tired. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, how much will the course be? I think the basic course is going to be $199, and if you want access to myself and Rich, you can buy the mastermind course, which includes a portal where we'll actually answer questions and create a mastermind group online where we can all help each other out. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be like $497. And like I said, Rich will be in that. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pay Rich out of that $497. So, you know, you guys consider yourselves very fortunate to have access to Rich's vast oracle of knowledge related to real estate. King Rich said, I enjoyed the video you did with your daughter when you guys drove around and detailed how much to purchase property or sold them for. Watch that. Yeah, King Rich, that video, actually, I have more property. There were some other properties I didn't even put in there. It was too long. The video was starting to be too long, man. There's even more. And when I get into the course, I'm going to be real transparent with numbers and stuff, because there's going to be less people. You know, there might be thousands of people that watch the course, but there might be millions of people that watch the videos on YouTube. So I didn't want to put too much out there on the YouTube stuff. Yeah, I'm always down to make videos and partner with people, whatever. We're doing a meet and greet next Friday here in Columbus, Ohio. So if anybody's in Ohio and you want to come out, if it's not snowing, if it's safe, I'm going to bring the Lambo out to the meet and greet, and I'll probably live stream it. I got some pretty dope live stream cameras and stuff. So next Friday at 6:30, we're gonna do a meet and greet, and I plan on live streaming it. Should be pretty dope. Mod the Fame is gonna be there, and Stunner Reese is gonna be there. Check out their YouTube channels. DJ C10, what's up? Sick with it, yo. Como vai? Tudo bom? Espero que sim. Let's see. Hey, sick with it, yo. Hit me up at get@willmotivation.com. Get@willmotivation.com. That's my email address. And looking forward to that. Bibbin said, what are your thoughts on commercial versus residential real estate? So my thoughts on commercial versus residential, that's a good one. So first of all, most of my experience in real estate is residential. So when I start talking about my portfolio, how much it's worth and all that good stuff, 99% of it, or 95%, I don't know what the exact is residential. I do own one commercial property, and I had another property that I was going to convert to be commercial, and I learned some stuff from that. Now, owning that one commercial property that I own, it's an office space. The thing about commercial that that I'm not super hyped about is it's more difficult to find a good tenant, because you got to find businesses for your commercial real estate. It's more difficult than residential to find like tenants and leases and stuff. Your market is smaller. And then two, when you want to sell that commercial real estate, because I also thought about selling my commercial real estate, the buyer's market is not as healthy or not as large as the residential. So you could potentially be holding on to the commercial real estate longer, or waiting longer to lease it than with residential. So that's like the downside. But the upside is I have rented out my office space before, and it was relatively problem free. Like I didn't have any drama with break-ins or people stealing stuff or plumbing emergencies like when somebody lives in a house. I have very few issues. I got my rent on time and all that. So it was a good renting experience with commercial. So that's probably one of the pros of commercial. Um, but some of the same principles apply as far as making money, buying it low, selling it when it's high, or buying it low and holding it to just rent it out. But I only have experience, like I said, with one commercial property, and that's where I have my office space now. And I plan on keeping it for a long time. I don't have a plan on selling it. I might build out the second level of my office space and rent it out, and then I'll let you guys know how that goes. But if a commercial deal was presented to me that I knew I could make money on based on what I know about real estate, I would not hesitate much to get into a commercial deal, knowing that it might take longer for me to get a business in there, depending on what location it was in, and it might take longer for me to sell it. That's the thing about commercial. So, but residential, you don't. If you're in a good, healthy economy, like a city with a good, healthy economy, in residential, you make your property nice. You usually don't have problems renting it out. Cool. So that's my thoughts on commercial versus residential. You got more options, I think, with residential. Now, I did have one property that I wanted to convert to residential because it's on like the number one street in my city going east and west. It's a real good location. Um, and I could actually get it converted to be commercial, but it will cost some money. And I had some issues with the water supply for that property, so I didn't do it. But maybe in the future it might be worth it, or I can just sell the property to a commercial real estate developer. Might be worth a lot in the future. So, all right, where are we at? Do I have any advice on purchasing industrial warehouses? Um, oh, actually, some good. Let me look up here. Let's see. Um, uh, you can find Rich at realtyohio.com, right? Should I buy a smaller townhome and live myself until I pay it off, or should I buy a large house, have one or two roommates? My goal is to eventually turn the property into a rental property. You could do either. Vlad on YouTube, you could do either. I'm sure Rich is probably answering that question, but you could do either. It just depends on how fast you want to make stuff happen, because you could buy a smaller townhome. You don't have to pay it off. Just get some equity in it, and then move on to the next property and then rent that out. That's what I did. Or you could buy a larger house, have roommates, pay down the mortgage, get some equity, do the same thing. But the cost of the townhome versus the cost of the house is what's going to determine how fast you get to the next step. So, but you could buy both and do the same. Let's see. Fitness Tech said, "Have I ever had to go to court?" Yes. I went to court to evict tenants that did not pay about 3 times, and it was pretty It was pretty easy. It was pretty easy. Like, to be honest, it was nothing to it really. The judge called us up, and the judge said, "I understand the case to be somebody, you're in this house and you haven't paid in 3 months, and he's asking for his house back. Do you have anything to say?" And the tenant usually doesn't say much, and then if they do, they like mumbling something, and then the judge is like, the judge looks at you as a property owner and said, "Do you want to work with the tenant to help their situation out?" "Well, I'll leave it up to the property owner, but if they decide, then you got 2 weeks to move out, blah, 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 done, next." Because it'd be like, when you go to court like that, eviction court, there's like 100 people in there, or more, 150 people in there. And so the judge doesn't have time. Like, everybody's in there when you go up in front of the judge. So the judge doesn't have time to be like having a debate and having a long hearing like you see on TV on Judge Judy. It doesn't go down like that. They give you like 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. So you got 30 seconds to say something. And I don't have anything to say, but they got to get out, right? And usually, like, people too embarrassed to, like, the tenant is too embarrassed usually to to say much, but they always show up though. All of my tenants showed up, even though they wasn't paying their rent. They all showed up, and to be honest, like they knew I wasn't trying to be hard on them. Like I gave them more than like a month to pay. Usually, by the time I evicted them, it was like 3 months later. So I was already being nice. So they didn't tear up my place or anything like that either. They had to get out. Because I can't be paying for grown people to live in my house. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, I've had to go to court. Now I had a discrepancy with the property management company, and they took me to court. But guess what? I didn't show up. I was like, what is this? They gonna sue me over $200? Catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. But no, I had a dispute with that $200. They sued me, and I didn't go to court. I'm not going to court for no $200 lawsuit. And whatever, if I lose because I didn't go, send me a letter, see what happens. And so I don't suggest anybody take my legal advice, but I didn't show up and I still haven't paid. And if you ask me, they owe me some money. But anyway, I paid all of my property management fees to them. They just want to charge me a cancellation fee when they owed me money after the place was vacant. So anyway, I have gone to court. I went to court for traffic court one time, and when I read the penalties for the traffic court, it said one of the penalties at the top of the list was 90 days in jail. And I said, plea bargain. So I didn't go before the judge because the judge was giving out sentences that day. I was in criminal court for traffic because I wanted to contest it. And it was a bunch of criminals in there getting sentences and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm not trying to talk to this judge. So I plea bargained my traffic ticket, and that was that. So anyway, where are we? Let me catch up. Yeah, Section 8. Somebody asked about Section 8. Yeah, Section 8. I have somebody that works for me, and he's a friend of mine. He had a Section 8 property, and it was a nightmare for him. Like, I'm putting that in the course. Like, I'm gonna interview him about his experience with Section 8. And he said for a while it was good, but at the end it was bad. But you probably just gotta you just gotta know the rules and follow the rules and weigh the pros and cons. But for me, Section 8, I didn't have to do Section 8, so I felt no need to go through that process, Man, Rich is knocking them down. So if you buy the course, I'm partnering with Rich in the mastermind group. So once you buy that mastermind group option for the course, we're going to create a group online. Rich is going to be in the group. I'm going to be in the group, and some other real estate professionals and investors will be in the group, and we'll all help each other out, answering questions, evaluating deals, networking, putting each other onto resources and stuff like that. So I had lunch with Rich last weekend or the weekend before last, and I proposed the idea that he helped me with this mastermind group, because let's say 1,000 people buy the course and 1,000 people want access to that mentoring and the mastermind group, then I want to bring in some people that know more than me that can help out, answering questions and things of that nature. And you guys can see Rich is the oracle of knowledge. And see, Rich was with me for all of my deals. So he was able to see when I bought the house, how much I bought it for. And then when I turned around and sold it, I also went to Rich and said, hey, Rich, I'm ready to sell this house. And he saw how much I sold it for. He saw what I did when I flipped it. So he's seeing the whole experience at the same time. So we're both going to be able to answer a lot of questions and stuff. Will, do you own property abroad as well? Sick with it, yo. I've owned 2 properties abroad. I sold one of them, and one of them I still own, but I did not have a good experience with my property abroad. I did not have a good experience. I didn't like it. Like the one property that I sold, I pretty much broke even, and I probably, if I kept it, I could have probably made some profit now. But a lot of countries, man, they don't do stuff like we do stuff here in the United States, man. Like the paperwork, the titles, companies, and all that kind of stuff. The lawyers and all people be backwards in other countries. So I did not have a good experience, and I don't look forward to buying a lot of property in other countries, even though I have thought about it. I love Colombia. I love Colombia, and I would think about buying property in Colombia, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do things the same as we do stuff here in the United States. So I would have to really investigate that. So you guys got any more questions before I bow out gracefully? We've got, how many people are in here? 46. We got 46 people in the chat. Well, 47. Yeah, Medellin is the spot. Medellin and Cartagena, great places. Medellin is my favorite place in the world outside of the United States. Cappy, are you still on? Rich sees all. Rich is the oracle, man. I'm telling you. I'm giving you guys access to Rich as a part of my course in the mastermind group that has the value of $1 million. I'm gonna have the course ready around March 1st. So that gives me all of February to record my lectures and then perfect it, get it nice, edit it, and then by March 1st, roll it on out. You know what I'm saying? It'll be good. It won't be all super long either. It won't be like too hard to get through the course. Okay. So we're gonna drop knowledge, and like I said, you guys will have access to me to answer questions. And then when you start getting ready to buy your first real estate deal, or maybe you're working with a bank and you don't know what to do, or in certain situations, then we could chime in and help you out. But or yeah, they might be related. Stick with it. The course will be available in March, beginning of March. I hope to have it out on March 1st. So I'm gonna be working on it from now all throughout February. Long form, but that, I think the people that spending money will like the long form. But anyway, yeah, appreciate it. You guys click like on the video. I'll leave this video up so that people know what's going on. And I apologize for the little issue with the noise on the on my audio, but thanks to Bivin, we got it worked out. But I'm about to jump off of here, and then I think I'm gonna live stream on Sunday just for the fun of it, because I got some of my buddies coming over to play poker, and I might live stream just like how they do Poker Stars. And you know, we always crack jokes and have fun while we play poker, so I might live stream it. So you guys look out for that. Sunday, we're gonna watch the game and play some poker. That'll be about 3 o'clock Sunday. So anyway, I appreciate you guys chiming in on the course and asking questions on the course and giving your input and feedback. And I hope you guys, you know, basically got something out of today's live stream. And I hope you guys really get something out of this course that I'm making, because for me, the ultimate payback will be that we make some millionaires in the long run after they check out this course. So love y'all. Appreciate you guys, and stay tuned. Good nights. Holla. Holla.
Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today's video. There's a lot more to come. Hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when is my online course going to be ready. Well, I have good news for you. My online course is completed. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can click on that link and get a 40% discount off the course. That'll be for the first 50 students. So if you're ready to take the online course that I've basically laid out everything that I know about how to invest in real estate, click the link below or just go to www.willmotivation.com/invest. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch today's video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.